for the past couple of years, Joby, the GorillaPod company, the people that make the cool grips for the cameras that allow you to get all the shots that you can't get with a tripod, either because your tripod's too big or if you leave it on a tripod, your camera's going to fall over and die. And they now make microphones. They've been making microphones for, I don't know, 18 months, a couple of years. They have contacted me in the past and wanted to send me some of the microphones. I'll be honest, when I looked at some of them, I didn't really like the look of the styling, but then they contacted me about this microphone, the Wavo Plus. This is a on-camera shotgun microphone which retails for about £180. I know it's dangerously close to the Videomic NTG, my favourite on-camera shotgun microphone, and we're going to test it out with that a little bit later in the video. There's going to be plenty of comparisons and stuff. And this was the first one where I looked at it and went, do you know what, I like the look of it. And I know you don't see it now, you can't see the microphone right now, but for me, I still want my camera rig to look nice. I still want it to look pretty. Most importantly, I want the shot to look nice, and this is the first time I've been outdoors with the Sony FX30 and the 11mm f1.8. So we're shooting at 4K 25 frames per second today. S-Cinetone. We are using an ND filter. I've got an ND8 on it, not a variable. I don't like variables with this wide angle lens, and I just don't like variables anyway. You get too much vignetting, I find, with the variables. You get this cast, you get this shadow coming in from the corner. Now the ISO is at auto. It's at 320 at the moment, but I've set it from its base ISO up to 1000. Shutter speed, for any of you 180 shutter degree people, look at that unnatural motion. We're at 1 and 200 because we're using the gyro stabilization. And now Sony's going to tax me because this is 10-bit, and you have to pay to use 10-bit. Anyway, shouldn't we be talking about the Wavo? The Wavo Plus, the £180 mini on-camera shotgun microphone. It's twice the price of a Rode Videomic GO II. In fact, it's probably a little bit more because you can pick that up for about £70–80 now. We're going to test that microphone in a minute as well. See how the Wavo Plus compares. Before we do those tests, let's talk about the Wavo some more, because we've been talking about anything but the Wavo. We haven't really mentioned the Wavo that much at the beginning of the video. So it comes in this nice box. Here's a little bit of unscreen unboxing for you. Tiny little box there. It's got some buzzwords like Rycott on the front, because they partnered with Rycott to do the shock mount. We'll find some steps or something to run down. We'll see how the shock mount handles a little bit later. I feel like I'm adding a lot of things for me to do in this video now. I'm just going full ham with things that we might do, or I might forget to do and then have to come out and reshoot tomorrow. We'll just see how it's going. I didn't say that apertures at 1.8 were wide open. Is my face overexposed there? I don't know. It might be. My face might be overexposed. This footage could all be lost. Back to the Wavo. So it comes in this awesome box. There's the specs. So there are the specs of the Wavo on the back of the box. 30 hours of battery life, 20 to 20 kilohertz for the frequency pickup. It's got a self noise of 19 dBA, which is 4 dB higher than the Rhodes, but it's still lower than the Sennheisers that all the YouTubers recommend to you. But they don't tell you when you're not using those microphones outdoors, and when you start to use them indoors, the hiss. Those Sennheiser microphones, MMKE ones, you get a lot of hiss on those mics. But the YouTubers don't tell you that, because they want to keep selling Sennheiser products. They want to keep getting sent them, so they don't tell you that. Now inside the box, you're going to get the Wavo Plus, and it looks like a mini Rode Videomic Pro, which is a microphone that's starting to look a little bit dated now. Oh, there's a bunny. There's a bunny in front of me. I'm not going to get him. He's going to run off. Behind me over here is an ickle little rabbit. 2 of them. So it looks like a mini Videomic Pro, but this actually does have some huge pros. Let me tell you the huge pros about this. It's quite a stubby microphone and it stands quite tall. So this is actually going to be really good if you want to use it on like a GoPro, or if you want to use it on, you know, a DJI, Osmo Action, something like that, because you'll find with the Rode Video Micro and GO II, especially when you put the wind filter on them as well, you will see them in the lens because the shot is so wide. You will see that. Option number 1, we go into the woods. Option number 2, we stay out in the open. I'm going to stay out in the open. There's a lot of runners around, and some of them look creepy. Normally it's just old dog walkers, and I can talk to Doris about her spaniel. Now also in the box as well, you get a bunch of cables. So you get a TRS to TRS connection, so that's just for cameras, can't plug it into a smartphone. You also get a 1.5 meter USB-C cable, also get a 1.5 meter USB-C to Type A cable. Now I'm actually using the Rycott wind filter that they sell for it today, which is an extra £20, which puts it near enough bang on price with the Videomic NTG, although the NTG doesn't come with a wind filter, so you still have to buy one of those. And I find it does a good job. I actually took this out last night. I'm not going to show you the recording because I was very ill unprepared and I was outside the front of my house, but there was just a very slight bit of wind, nothing that I would class as even light wind, and without the wind filter on, it was picking it up. So if you are going to buy this microphone, 100% get it with the wind filter, but that's an additional £20. Is this microphone worth £200? I don't know. You're listening to it. You're listening to it right now. I'll listen to it, back to it in the studio in a bit. So let's talk about setting this up and compatibility then. Let's talk about getting your level set and everything that you need. So on the left hand side of the microphone, so that's this side, you can't see it because I didn't bring another camera, but it's here, there is a headphone jack. You can use that for monitoring, and obviously it is useful if your camera hasn't got any kind of headphone monitoring. But my issue with that is going to be that isn't a true representation of what you're listening to, because you could still be clipping it in camera, which is when we get to the little switch on it. So on this, on the side here, let me just check because I can't remember. There is a -10 dB, a 0 dB, and a 5 plus 15 dB switch. So what you need to do is you need to go into your camera and set your gain to the lowest setting. So I've got the FX30 set to 1, okay? And then you see which switch gets you the best level. So if you've got quite a hot microphone preamps, to say like a Panasonic Lumix, you may find that either 0 dB or -10 is your best bet to get, you know, a good signal. For me, the Sony, because it's got quite a big gain range, I have set it to +15, so that allows me to set it down to 1, which is going to keep self noise low. 19 dBA isn't bad, even though I made those points earlier, but that's going to do all of that stuff. I'm getting technical now, no more random talking. We got to do the technical facts. And there's grass in the back of it. I just touched it there. How did the shock mount do? Now over to the back of the camera is where it gets interesting, because you've got your 3.5mm TRS cable, which you plug directly into your camera, or you could get a TRS to TRRS cable if you want to plug it in via a headphone jack on a phone, for any friendly company that still sells a phone with a headphone jack. But there is also a USB-C connection. Now you can use it with an iPhone, but you would want to get an MFI certified cable. I would recommend a Rhodes one, because I ordered loads of £5 ones, none of them worked, and then I just bought the £15 Rode one. Funny how that ended up working. Should we get on a path? I feel it's bad if I come down here because all the runners. Let's go see the runners. And there is also a volume knob, a little turny knob for your headphone volume as well, so you can adjust your headphone volume, which is useful if you're using it as a USB microphone, but sadly you can't turn monitoring off when you're using it as a USB microphone if you wanted to use it as the headphone jack as well. No software with this, unlike the Rode microphones that have got software. No software to this. Now over to the left hand side, so if I called the last hand the left hand side, this is the right side, this is the one with the DB pads. We've got another couple of switches as well. So the most interesting one, and not a new feature because Deity do it, Rode do it, is the safety track. So that is going to record it at 10 dB lower. So I'd always recommend you do that, but if you do that, what you are going to have to do in post is, you know, split your channels and turn them from stereo into mono and decide which track you want to use. You just got to decide the track you want to use, but why not use the safety track, okay? So I'm at +15 dB and I'm coming in at about -12, and then I've got another one that's recording at 10 dB lower. Oh, I turned the camera off too early. There's also a high pass filter on it as well, which I think is a 75 Hertz or 100 Hertz high pass filter. It'll be on screen which one it is. I generally leave them off because I will add that afterwards. But if you haven't got the wind filter, 100% turn it on. 100% turn it on. Also the wind filter as well, the foam on it is actually very thin at the front, which is quite surprising. It's quite padded from the front. So if you're going to close mic talk into this one, you will probably pop it. You won't do it with the other one. Found some wood. Let's do a shock mount test. I hope my camera doesn't go. I'm doing a shock mount test. I'm going to be extra jumpy on these steps. How are we getting on? Shock mount and gyro stabilization test over. So let's compare the microphones then. So right now you're listening to the Joby Wavo Plus. All the filters are off. This is what the Joby Wavo Plus sounds like. So then we're now on the Rode Videomic GO II. There's no fluffy wind filter on this. We're just using the included foam filter. We're using the included foam filter. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think this is probably the most underrated microphone for YouTube. I know like for years people bought like Blue Yetis and all that sort of stuff, but this thing is so versatile that for its price point, it just punches way above it. Way above it. And it's, you know, when you look at like Deity, for example, that don't make a high-end on-camera shotgun microphone anymore, that went down to the £100 price point and offered something that is maybe in some senses a little bit better than the GO II, shows you how good Rode have been in the on-camera space, doesn't it? It really does. And I really do like this microphone. Now, this doesn't have any gain adjustment on it whatsoever. You can do like high pass filters and high frequency boosts and all that stuff, but you have to do it for an app, so you're only really going to be using that when you've got it plugged in to an iPhone, okay? So it doesn't have any of that stuff. I think it's, for me, it's the stepless gain that it's missing that really does it for me a little bit, especially more when you're using it indoors. So I've had to turn the preamps to 5 on the Sony, which is pretty decent. You know, it's not too bad. I don't like to go above 10 on Sony preamps or just any camera preamps because they're terrible. But this is the Rode Videomic GO II. So now we're back on the Joby Wavo, just so you can hear the difference of it there against the Rode Videomic GO II. How does it sound? So now we are on the one that holds the crown. Like, since it's come out, it has been the best on-camera shotgun microphone that you can get for vlogging. If you don't mind something that's a little bit bigger, it's quite small, but I've got the foamy wind filter on it today. And this is the Rode Videomic NTG. I'm recording with a safety track on. I've got the high frequency boost enabled because I've got the little fluffy dead cat on. No high pass filters, don't need them. There's no wind. There's no rumbles. Don't need the high pass filter. This is what the King sounds like. So how does the Wavo compare to the King? Got the gain set on the back of the NTG to 12. Camera preamp is at 1. How did the Wavo do? Does it match Rode? Is the Wavo Plus the new King? Do I need to clickbait the title of this video with NTG killer, like the other 10,000 videos on YouTube that constantly tell you this is the best new product, this is the killer product, buy, spend. But in all seriousness, I'm probably going to go back with these microphones in a few weeks because I believe something might have beat the NTG, the Comica, the new Comica. The Comica already sounded pretty good. I forgot what it is, the VM30 for £120. They've just added a wireless receiver to it. So I could go running over there with my shotgun mic all the way over there and you'd still hear me here. Might be good, might be a good buy. And you've just listened to the Rode Videomic NTG, and we are now back on the Joby Wavo Plus. How does it sound? How does it sound compared to the Videomic NTG? So this was going to be the part of the video where I got to test it out indoors as a USB microphone because I was really interested to see how it sounds, because as you can see, it's got a proper short interference tube on it. I wouldn't even really class it as a shotgun microphone when the interference tube is this small, and microphones like this can work really well indoors because they're not going to get that phasey warbling sound you get when you're using microphones with longer interference tubes. But sadly, I haven't been able to get it working. It does show up as the Wavo Plus in both my MacBook M1 Pro and Mac Mini M2 Pro, but I don't get any input or output on it. It doesn't really matter what software that I'm using, they all see it, but there's no sound coming in. I've messed around with audio MIDI as well. If I do ever manage to get it working, I will put in the comment section what I did, but I'm not going to spend any ages troubleshooting something which should just be plug and play. Rode Videomic GO II, Rode Videomic NTG, I can plug them straight in and they work straight away. You know, you don't need any drivers, so they're driverless. So I don't know what's going on with this. Now, there were a couple of things I forgot to mention when I was out and about. Firstly, couldn't see it because of the wind filter, but there is a light on the front of this, which lights up when you've got it powered on, and it also is auto power on and off with your camera, which is great, but it's nothing new because Deity and Rode do it as well. And that's about it. So pros and cons then, pros and cons. I ain't really got a lot of pros about it, and I don't mean to disrespect it, because I quite like the microphone. But the only things that I really like about it is that it's small and stubby, and it sounds a little bit better than the Rode Videomic GO II. That's about it. Outside of that, there's not really much for me to shout about, or there's no innovation on it. There's only so much you can do with a microphone, but when you're going to sell something for near enough the same price as the Rode Videomic NTG, I understand how hard it is to get close to that microphone, because it's not just a great microphone. They've got like 2 or 3 great bits of software that you can use with that now. So I understand where it's going to be hard. And I do think the microphone sounds good. I did add a little bit of a high frequency boost to this on the outdoor test, because when I got back and listened to it, this microphone sounded quite dark compared to the Videomic NTG with a high boost on it, because when you put fluffy filters on, it does remove some of those high frequency areas. So I think I added about 2.5, 3 dB at 10 or 12K. I can't remember now, but around about there somewhere. Just a little boost. That's all you need to add to it, and that's easy to do anyway. But yeah, it's cheap looking. It's very plasticky. I know people would complain if it was metal and heavy, but the most quality thing about this is the Rycott mount. And that's not even Joby, even though Joby and Rycott, I think they're all owned by the same company, and also Audix. So I do think that they'll be making some very good microphones as things come on and down the future, but it's just too expensive. £180, and then you're going to add the wind filter to it, 200 quid. You should be buying a Videomic NTG all day long. This thing needs to be selling for £100 to 120. So I did manage to get it working over USB eventually on both my MacBook and the Mac Mini, but I'm just going to be quiet for a second because I'm sure you can hear that, right? Basically, as soon as I power this thing on, because you plug it in and it kind of powers, but then you have to turn it on to make them see it, I get all this interference, and I've just turned off like as many things as I can, and I'm still getting feedback. I've tried multiple cables. It's not happening with the Videomic GO II or the NTG. So for me, the fact that this isn't shielded very well, massive con. That's almost a probably wouldn't even buy it con. So I'm just inserting this in because I was going to completely redo this end bit of the video, because I did get it working this morning and I thought I'll re-upload it. But yeah, with all of this feedback sound that we're getting, that means the microphone's not shielded, because my other microphones that are shielded are working in the same situation. So yeah, fail. The Wavo fails. Fails at the USB microphone test. That's a real shame. I kind of like this thing. Anyway, that's it from me today. A rant over at the end of the video. I'm going to now pack all of this stuff away and open some windows because I'm hot and I'm sweaty. Let me know what you thought about this microphone. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back with some more content very soon.